go.
I look so pretty on that montage. Thanks for joining me on Luna today. My name's Steve, aka So Sick, and it's always wonderful to be here. We have so many great conversations. We meet so many different people, and we find out more about them. A lot of times, people want to have big celebrities on their shows and hear the stories that they've heard time and time again. I'm a big believer that there's so many stories out there, and they're not all inclined to someone who does music or someone who does acting or someone who holds political office. Sometimes it's inclined to people that you see day to day that have these inspiring stories. Because some people are too shy to get there. Some people you just don't even call them to these platforms. You don't get them to these platforms to find out who they really are. As we start the show, I need to show you something. There's this video I saw on social media. It was of a lineup in the rural area. I didn't know what area that was when I initially watched it, but I just knew there was a lot of Lamba being spoken. And you know how Lamba is. Lamba, Ndola city where I'm doing this from, is Lamba land. The Copperbelt is basically Lamba land. And how many of your children are speaking Lamba? But when you heard it, you know exactly what area it was. So let's check out this lineup video before we start.
Ewingo, line up we manam. Ewingo, am I invited guest? Avekero, Matamba Zuki. One. Line up we manam. Wana winga wadiyo mushiwenga manam ala seko. Flowers very simple. Wana winga wakateke nyeka chisungu. Noti yo kadochi yo magneti yo shiwingo yaje musapara adia ne shet pasop master ceremony ya cheche odadi padia macheche oda my witnesses na afkamba radio cameraman so mulamu life to aikere mone fare nyula waiti takofia matronyo yale isapo matronyo yale isapo wa keke bana mala very simple no stress abale umfira mala moni bami tali la mala mo f2 no mama lingi ne wapita malingi ni ne mala amalingi ne wapita ni ne aya ya so wale fuika na ya malingi mala very simple mulamu haiko na stress yo makati yo shani venue mulamu tapani ne fia deko bonse na bali physical challenge tina bo bali mfwa bwino mulamu freestyle mulamu this is what I miss if twakudi lefi mulamu maturonya lifi mchalo chakwe mulamu alenyongola po not mule yo ikabashiani mwana fien dance yo mampia usonshia oleka ipidi bugeja ngone mulamu ulewa na mulamu kati ipidi bugepa ya hii mfoko imbaka wana kwa mulamu hii na yo apeile bige mboko wana kwa mulamu talila freestyle wana wewe mtirigere mwino
That still cracks me up. The first time I watched it, I really laughed. And, you know, every time that, you know, you're usually on lineup, so I MC a lot of events.
Okay.
And I always see what stress people go through to actually have a wedding. It's very expensive. Weddings are now costing like 100,000 kwacha. So I'd like to welcome Artson, who is AKA Ramwisho.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
You're a very good commentator. Eh?
Yes, actually, I should have been awarded commentator of the year, you know.
That commentary is top-notch commentary. I mean, I was watching that and I was wondering, you know, maybe we take things too seriously for my middle class or for my town. I mean, people get married regardless, whether they just do a simple dance. The cake shouldn't even be that expensive as long as the ceremony happens. I mean, how were you involved in that wedding that day?
Uyowenga Steve kaifo tuli balamba. So ngale kita mix na kisungu kaitwa isambirire kubudifudi. So, you know, that's my cousin of mine. Mufyala we sodia. Bamayo kabantu minafone. Awu kuinga oketashani okeseko. Winga kadi na fyama winga ne bwawo okese fi so efina ile kuli yango Steve so lulande ya munshira na sango mwaije alenjiminikana waonda so namba muna desperation ne bwatawe njimakane ngumfu muntu ifi yelenfwaira bamdala ababa ijaba bachingo kubapa line up nombo obviously no shitabafu abambi but onda itashani yafwa muri akubwenga chawo nanye bwekunde akubwenga so amalinyi aya nine bale pembe iwe kwacha mkushita amalinyi angosifu amalinyi takune kwa kanji kwalifo kubola kawaya bamulinga mu mwana kashi size yenke ekwa ile na so kalianga kaluba ni shiku yangu shitama oversize na
oversize so nachuma ma size 18
ma size 18 nimbia tushika nini 14 efina pitch dali amalinyi na baite na mapintu kuyamfuka kodi Uliobwenga bwali very simple. Efitu akulile fidyango Steve. So, kulya mumishumu ngolifye nenjinga ngatokwete njinga tetu upe hawa. Pantu bale kupishe ingawa yacho oyo kubekele bale kupisha number 1. Uline njinga. Ngatakwete njinga nishwasho kwa mwana waso akitashani akapenga. Pantu ile njinga kumutwalira poku ya kuchipatala kanipa friabuka ile njinga kutwalira kwa malashe njinga ila pyonge fintu efi
it's the biggest thing.
Yes. Asset ifyo kwa wati no bank account hapo. Ego yenka ile na hamba abitoni shile shaka dishia. So that's how I got involved. Jina afikire kulia watawo bubwenga bwamoneka kwena bwawama kunuma ya churwe kwa very revenue people were very happy na didirenzo imagine all chicken ile ya mumushi not shisha istumile chamu
you ate it by yourself.
Yes kulia kailini shinadini in a big pie kulia kailino kutaira ne wataire kulia ile ne waira ngufumie shia.
So let's talk about that as well. I mean, do you think we over exaggerate what we do?
I think so. Kaili kuno mutao nini aniona neshi tokwetepo ule mkuya mjupo bajin kongole wangu kongole shakupira isha kupangira wedding le tokwete pona motoka ule fuwa wendire mudidimu le mwazini baba bwana chango Steve apisha wedding yembushima kwezu takudepo kumushita kudipwao tulasongo bunga insumbi twasonga bakuchana kashina bakuchala no mefiseke twakumba takudi pwefya kwasha ngawali pira fya wapwisha sometimes takwapane kupoisha ulaidi ulipira kwa panini nomba kuno mlefu wa mwendele mu madimo kuno mlefu wa mpoke loan 5 years ulilipirisha bwinga abana bonse bafyadirwa mu Kongole. No.
You know the thing about I like the way you're speaking your Lamba, and it's sometimes when you're walking through in Dollar City and you hear someone speaking Lamba, you turn around like, oh, Lamba. It's not as common as the way Bemba is on the Copperbelt. Even when they talk about the Copperbelt in different places, Wanalanda fetch Bemba Copperbelt. What do you think happened for Lamba to sort of be like the second highest, or maybe even the third highest spoken language on the Copperbelt? What do you think happened? What did the Lambas do for them to be overrun, for lack of a better term?
Yes. Yeah. I think akade kwaliko mistake efimbweno mlando kokwe bati abasungwiri bayishire mkuchita set up ama minds monse muno ngo Steve muno we are taught history balatwebo kwati monse muno dyadidi Lamba mwadi muishi so konse kuli abankana kuisa badi so abengi kwali kubateshya mu kubatwala muyamba
eri nomba mwamba ukubala umbaba alefuma kumalu apula alefuma kuisa mkubomba. I think that's what really happened. Chimbina chwekita chitofwele sana ya kwati but abasata bashingula biloko kwati no, let us introduce local languages in schools. There was a mistake. But where Copperbelts ukubika Lamba because that's the indigenous
yes, it is.
language.
I mean, and I feel really bad about that.
You understand?
And I've always wanted to find out, like, how did the Lambas allow for Bembas to, not even Bembas really, because I'm Ndebele and all these tribes to come here and speak a language that is from the northern part.
I think we are very generous people. For Lamba, if you look at Copperbelts, Uncle Steve, Copperbelts di Lamba, to the name from 15, by the way. Nangu ni muabani, whether ni muabani, ni murulo, like Rufuanyama, to dina aba MP, aba ku Southern Province. Muno, Mundola Centro, Muriaba Bemba, Kuisa. You see, I tribalism or tribalism. Abantu nga kuti babona kwefi tukikire mireti ifi twikere fwe tusungire imishobo ishakutubwingi mwilamba. I think Zambia would have even been a better place. The confusion ya kwati tribalism ngairishirire. But ukaye ku Southern Province nedi ukaye ku Eastern and ku Northern tokasanga pomulambo kuimakana kudazi member of parliament. It doesn't mean that we're not educated and we're very educated. But trust me, kamjaka suba tukie mungu kwa wati. No, you see, I think mwatu pinta sana kwa chini palupe. Let's get involved
in our territory.
That's why you see me sometimes because you know this is our land and we are the indigenous people, but we've welcomed.
You said that that's how you grew up. I'm looking at your shoe right now. This shoe looks absolutely expensive.
Yes.
It's pretty pricey. I mean, you speak very well. You articulate very well, and you said you grew up in the village as well. Tell us about your time in the village and how your day-to-day life was and how you found yourself here as Mwisho.
I was born in Masaiti. That was 1984. In fact, if I did work on Sobe, if you heard of a place in Sobe,
yes.
My dad used to work there in the early 70s. So he left that place and settled himself in West Mushiri. We went there in 1986. Yeah, when I was actually 2 years.
2 years old, yeah.
So from there, Eko Naambire school from grade 1 up to grade 7. Grade 7 you could po ne school ya kwati kuti ngawapa saba na
that was no secondary school.
That was not secondary school apache mbela so eri abika ko very beautiful. I will go and capture it.
You mean all this time has never been a
secondary mu 97 eri na partially grade 7 itakwali po secondary school. If you don't tell me that eri kwa secondary school.
So what happened to the people that when they wrapped
ngawapa grade 7 ukuja nalenda kuima inko insumbesha nembosha 07 06 no 03 edwaima ukuya ku school twaleshe nsumbi shidilere ukubwera futhi wasana futhi shidilere. I used to walk 03 ukuyisa pankulu mashiwa secondary school if you've been to Mbatamato. There's a secondary school, Mbatamato secondary school. Now next to it is Nkulumashwa secondary school. That's where I went.
How long was the walk?
3 hours. 30 minutes, yes.
3 hours.
3 hours mdala. Uleenda. Ukuyamba kufika ku school. Nale sangana malonda nishadide pa school. Nina wale mubusha nina. Teni heti ile break time mdala nishuo nomba mwamba nomba kulota nomba nishukubika mkona ule
exhausted, yeah.
So it was so it was hard until a good Samaritan took me in abale mfundara ebashine mukonsenda bado kundipidira ma school fees bakana na transfer number because she used to come from Ron.
Okay.
I completed Patuashuka. From Patuashuka na bwela konsobo na afyadirwe, and that's where I started working. Then 2006 edi naishire muno mundola and joined the transport company from hospitality business, because that's where the hospitality part of me comes from. because I got trained from there.
I mean, the Lambas. There's been a bit of things that have been said about the Lambas to me, and it's unfortunate that we don't know too much about the Lambas. Where did the Lambas originally come from?
Fwe balamba ukufuma that's why ngawaya iyo nse Katanga province ile balamba.
Okay.
Ukufuma fye padia pakasumba deso kuya pakafilu mbashi konse kudia ile yonse kudia balamba. Tuline mfumu tishilamba ishidi settled mu Congo. Mu baka boke muni mfumu shelamba. So originally twalifumine ku Congo eli nomba twaisa. That's why you find the whole Katanga province is Lambaland.
Okay.
That's why abalozina ngo bafulunga nayo balozi ndabatamba lokosone wajawe tiba kuitabona ndikoshoni but kuno ni kuilamba.
So let's talk about your childhood as well. I mean,
yes.
Was it just one child walking, or you were a group of you? How many children were in the family?
4 to the fear were 7, but at that particular time they were partially they were in grade 7 in
You were the first born?
No, I'm second.
Okay.
I've got an elder sister, then me, and then my 4 brothers and the other 2 young sisters. Director medicine, director accounting. So kudia kairie kufuma ama vegetables mumishi. So kupembelera first ngawabona kuti kubwaira sana abalera ku town ebo waendera pamanabo. If it warenda. But I remember twalirembera badi 26 katupasa mofya banga 4. Abala lume babiri ne bana kashi babiri out of 26.
Grade 7.
Grade 7. 1997.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, what sort of determination does that call for you to do that? I mean, there's like a attitude obviously that you get from your environments.
Yes.
You know that you need to cultivate. You know that you need to do all these things. Are those things real? Do you create your own wealth with the land in a rural area? And why is education important when you can live off that and you can live like that?
Uncle Steve, you see, education ididi iberere amano ya chifyarirwa nayo ididi iberere. That's why mkasango kwebachi umuntu alina PhD bachifuti chisoso. Pantu ififintu fibidi ngata office ndere pamo. You see, fwewa kwati wafikire ko mu grade 12 wakwatakona. By the way, ndina grade 12 certificate batatafinda batakoti ashaka ntwala ku university. But otherwise ndina grade 12 nangu kuimakana kuchinayimakana as a member of parliament.
Yes.
Pano ikitofwere ko sana fweba mumishi ni wisdom. Amano ya chifyarirwa. That's why nangu ndi musambirire tokweta amano ya chifyarirwa life ilaba kuti yakosa. So if we kashibwa ku mushi nibulo kwati tulafundwa ama basics aya life ifyaku ikala ne bantu, ifyaku ambala ne bantu, ifyaku lisunga, how to make money, ukuyaku mabala. That's why nangu if you make it mushi na town it's very easy. Pano bulenu wa town mumuntu wale kwamba sera.
There's a problem.
Yes, a very big problem.
It's a big problem.
That's why life in Angubana, you know, Padapa village, Shinga wana put your village in Dola. Kulabat village, Mutipula village shani, Mwabola Kwabana, Baba, Quataco their lifestyle where I sometimes life is not just about being in the city, in urban areas.
Why did you leave? Why did you leave?
I left. I haven't left actually, Steve.
You live in Kansenshi.
I live in Kansenshi,
yeah.
But I also live on the farm now because that farm is now quite big. So I started buying off from my neighbors. It's about now almost close to 1,000 hectares.
1,000 hectares?
Yes. So
you bought off all your neighbors then?
Yes, approach to the then my grandfather also senior chief mushili bakupela kofi I had to leave so that that's how I left, because the exposure now it helps someone to grow so that you understand life from a different perspective. So I haven't actually left. I'm very much involved in umoshi. That's why nangu the lifestyle ingi ya tulakita combine ifidi wasankanyako wabona kwefi inshi kushidea.
I'm of the age where my mom was actually from the village. She was from Sanfield or Pull-up.
Okay.
And I could never tell the village part of her because I think she came here when she was like 18 years old. She started working for travel agencies and things like that. Okay. So the only way that I could tell that my mom was from the village is because she could swim very well, and that she believed in a lot of superstition. Like, if you don't know, all those things, they will look at, are you crazy? Those things don't happen. So how are you? I know you have children yourself, and have they grown up? They've grown up in my idea, obviously. But how are you integrating your Lamba self and your Lamba upbringing into your children?
My kids love farming and they love the village life. Bambuya wabo from the mother side, they still living on the farm. Okay. Farm where my wife grew up as well. So every holiday, balaya. I've got my 7-year-old girl, last born.
Yeah.
She knows how to milk
a cow.
Yes. Ubo balamu kuswa, imbeba barishi kutudembeba, inkuni balateba, so that they understand. Because you see, this life, Yango Steve, my kids now, they don't have a mother. They lost. I lost my wife in 2021. So, but understand lifestyle ya kumushi. Just in case if it
no, because I always feel like
so I try by all means to impact even that kind of life into them, because you never know what tomorrow.
Because I always feel like every time some people come from a certain place, they always want their children to be just stuck on their PlayStations. They don't want to show them how to make money or to live. They just want to spoil them because they feel like in the 3 hours from 3 in the morning up to that. So I don't want my children to suffer. So we spoil our children and make sure that they have no idea how we grew up. So I'm happy to hear that you actually show them that. So speaking about children and legacies, I mean, when you talk about 1,000 hectares of land, are you still a farmer by heart, or you've left that for something?
I grow maize. Very soon I'll be going into up to Akwilile. There's like a fountain, like spring water. So very soon I've put up like a factory for. I've just realized what these natural resources. We need to take advantage of what we have.
Yeah.
Yes. So very soon I'll go into processing spring water. And remember, using that same water also for irrigation. I've put up a center pivot on the farm so that at least we make use of that land. I make use of that land. Where I'm coming from, I need to be proud of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So now to what Yango Steve to get what advertise menshi etaba tatufire to the stage because bungai why you go back to the land, because Chembela, I call him Chembela, our president Besu. If I have let's go back to the land, food security. So, people of my age, towny, no. When you have an opportunity, get a small piece of land and let's go back and farm, because we are the future leaders.
Okay. Okay, let's check out another video.
Yes.
This is when after the lineup, and now there was the cake, cutting of the cake and presenting of the cake and the kiss. Let's check this out.
Things are happening. Lineup with up. Master of ceremony, matroni, shwinga, agana winga. Very simple, very simple. Very simple. I go committee takwadi ponefia bupowachi committee bakabwala live. Kanomba lyashirya kufuika ali amadingi mona achileta ali amadingi ali naisango waonda yachibuka efya wachi awe mpera madingi efya mpera madingi mwanamo apaso nomba ana wenga na washwenga papa
So
bagesinga.
nabula lingi napera bashibwinga.
Baba pera
Babafuike abakashi.
Mwirufyanya mu bapere abalume.
Awe naishibefu nakitaka.
Fumyeni kwa kapepa na kabiri mwinsho kuti kayamu kwebulule nani. Nayi witness wo mambalo oyo. Female so kuti kifukolo le shake nkamala.
Hand left hand.
Ni ku left kufika ku left iwe mambala yo. Umunwe wa namba tu kufuma kuka kunani leka ku muna mondela ngirira apa so apa. Kuchafika pa wa mukamfuiro. Fuika pa.
So bale fuika ba give time.
Mwana as an experience chafuika chaishiwa. Yari ngane kulinga mwana mwishi. Very good. How it is.
So Africa lingi abakashiba.
Tota niko.
Nabula ina na pera abakashi.
So babola yimbi mwana mo. Na wabakashi na fuika mwana. Very simple keke de pembelera twipu tu.
Fuika abakashi. So namba tuwele mwa tumone fya nakonga kwa.
Yamba kwa shala kanani ka kisi kanya.
Mali yaka.
Welekeni babweleshe pepe panani yamba mune. Gift. Aka namba tu nomba after mwadi mwanani mwafrika nyama dini. Kita. Ye minomo. Chaya kaida maringi. Not ya giye minomo yo gift. Okay, I miss this place, Mulamo. Volcano, Mulamo. Aba mufira Mulamo. This life, very simple, no stress, no committee, no shine. Very nice. Fishing me.
I still can't get over that. I love that so much. But why is it that usually the bride looks so sad? The culture I'm Zambia. I think I'm going to get the for.
Umwe soka bilimu file fine na adela bele bwata bajaga kale boneka nikana kisungu kaja. Ero kale boneka kali mu ma 18 19 20 kali kumushi bale opwa wangu.
Yeah.
So kalaka muchinshi katya padya bapongo shawa sokola bokubomba mana ko tipambini mbelele.
Were you the guest of honor?
No, I was just a guest. I was just an invited guest. Na alibali okay bali ngebe fati ufire fu buwinga wa samu sangu wako. So nomba kabiri kanshira makisi yalipitide wa mama. Nomba amadinya na leta kai. Na ofucho na nafikire kulya. I forgot what ne wapinta madini ni nebo. So nomba katushinga na refoku kurende findu fifiri mpokoti. Ili na ibukisha ni bwati. Madini, master of ceremony. Mwisho, amadini.
So when it comes to you, this video went viral.
Yes.
I picked it up as well. I watched it. I really enjoyed it. That's when I even pressed the like button on your Facebook page. You're getting a lot of numbers. People are following your whole Facebook page because of the Lamba side of it and the Lamba that you speak and your character. And of course, you are also hilarious. I mean, how does that make you feel that people follow you now and your numbers have gone so much?
It's a good feeling because umula kande bomfi wa chilamba. Abantu they are very shy. Most of us lambas abantu ngabamfwa nani bonji mulamba. But ini ishanyelele la mu chisungu nomba niswa kumana pa East Park. Mwisho mulamba ya chilamba nani bonji mulamba. But you could continue kwa chwa maizi amadhe amashani. You see, I'm a very proud lamba. Don't forget ukulabilo mulaka weso. So na ngofye ni page yanji, I'm currently standing on Africa Passion number. I think got about 91,000 followers.
Yeah.
Slowly every day my followers because No, Lamba is comedy, the language itself. No, it's not comedy. If you love it. So that's why sometimes you know you are explaining something. What did you do? Ule sekesha, but in she ule labira, you know, ule labira muchi nabantu.
I'm sorry, but it is funny, man. It is a funny language. It feels like, you know, like somebody's speaking a certain way just to make people laugh.
So but then yeah. So I feel nice, I feel good ngandela bila ichilamba. Na mu office waingira mu office chikonkonsha pande mo ndafika odi iyenga ide yakumushi. Karibu. Wamfana wangu nangu nani karibu asuka. Cause it's a sweet language.
You know, I met you a few years ago, and everybody around you was just calling you Mwisho, Mwisho, Mwisho. Yeah. Wherever I would go, it's Mwisho, Mwisho. So I thought that was your name.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was your name. I was like, why do you call him? That's his name. No, it's not his name. It's a sign of, what does it Mwisho mean?
Mwisho ilapilula ni uncle.
Uncle.
But it's a term that we use to address, you know, males were mwisho, but amanti is not a tankashi. If you wait, about a tankashi. But it's just a term. You will hear them use that term mwisho, but it means uncle.
Uncle, okay. Do your kids now speak Lamba?
They do. They do speak Lamba and also Tonga because their mother was Tonga. And I'm not talking to the gross breed.
No, it's okay.
Lamba Bu versus Tonga Heifer.
There's a lot of tribal talk as well. Usually, I know the elections are coming up, and there's a lot of tribal talk that usually starts. And I know that the current president is trying to squash that tribal talk. I mean, do you think that I mean, with the example that you said that you know the Lambas are so open to everybody,
yes,
and they've accepted everybody. Do you think that there is actual tribalism in this country?
Tribalism,
like people who hate each other.
Yes. Tribalism is apa ilibere kwa chia chepako but ukupwata ikapo hapo ngamwa umfwa imbuiri futi kali yakasuba yani wereshe po futi tribal talks bali abantu bakudira muno mwesu abana bafyalira muno mwilamba. I don't know why people should keep on talking about you come from this region, we are superior. I don't know why other tribes feel like they are superior than other tribes. It's not right. How we've allowed these people in parliament for how long? It's not like that to quite the poor abalamba, that quite the poor abalamba somebody abange makana mundola center. That quite the poor abalamba somebody abange makana kuchingola, abange makana kuwansha. But we've, you know, platform, we've allowed everybody because we are Africans.
Has social media become sort of like an outlet? I know you lost your wife, it's probably like 5 years ago.
Yes.
Has social media become sort of like an outlet of for some of your loneliness, or some of your maybe depressed state? Has it helped? Has it been something that you channel, or you've always been doing this? Because I always wondered, because I only started seeing that you had your Facebook page, it was Artson.
Yes.
And then there was Bamwisho. I felt like it was that transition because you wanted to separate the two characters.
Amangole bukisha sana Uncle Steve mu PF. I used to do a lot of audios. Asanga mwankole that time. They only what you know, when you think you are there, one day you will be found in the furrow like this, you know, Mwankole. I used to do a lot of videos, a lot of audios then.
Yeah.
There was no face to it. Ururu to apitide, Lamba naishi de kaibade to konka sana. There was no freedom of speech that time. But no nari la bila mantini nangu. Kaido mweso fota to kwete. Amaona ndikosho nini shi yakafulafi kandi kwa wana fyalu banaka ni fyalu bipa ni fyalu bipa. So grieving doesn't really stop. Both you I've stopped grieving.
How have you handled losing your wife?
So it has been a very difficult situation. You know, being a single father, bringing up 2 girls and a boy. You know, it still torments me because even the way I had to find out she was gone, up to now.
I don't know the story. I don't know the backstory.
Well, she was aspiring in Kamifungo ward in Masaiti. You know, she was the only one qualified to Makana. She used to work for Zambia Broys. She was one of the managers. She worked for Airtel. She had a degree in marketing, very educated than me.
Okay.
So, Elovai, 2021 yari kochini revolution. So, kwa lugo wata utufuayo muntu ungakitasha nunga tofu wako, ukuimakana as area councillor, ukutuwachile famu kuni. So we spoke to her and she was like, no, I work with people, I don't have a problem. So she aspired for, and she did very, very, very well. Then idia time ya COVID idia. So and then she was expecting as well. She was about 7 months pregnant.
Okay.
By the time we realized what she had COVID, it was too late. To later Pandola Central. She was even walking. 2 days later, we lost her. So that's what actually.
So it was a sudden.
Yeah, it was
pretty sudden.
Yeah,
and she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah, she was. She was expecting our last born boy, but unfortunately, she left us. But you know, kwa social media, you know, it helps. You know, I'm a jovial person naturally.
Yeah.
I love making people laugh. You know, it's quite very. For me, it's just a talent in me inbuilt. If
you know that they say that the most jovial people are the most, the ones that are going through a lot more things.
Yeah.
Do you go through things, and does this?
No, I do.
Does this personality of yours help out? Maybe
yeah, it does.
Get through the day.
Kairi, you know, so we have
once a year. I get that a lot. For me, it's once a year I get upset, and when I get upset, I'm like, how did I even go from 0 to 100 like that?
So I avoid, in trying to avoid that. And making people laugh, and just to be happy. You know what I mean? You can't be that happy, but sometimes it helps you when we feel if you muchalo chowe when we ukujipenda chakani paka feel food ya kasubaka we out fuego fienkefi, just making people laugh. And even my wife was my fan actually. At first, when we just got married, she didn't like this social, media. But she got used, with time. I think, if you had.
I mean, how did you look like you're doing pretty well for yourself? Like, you haven't done too bad, yeah?
Yeah, no,
yes.
I've tried.
Still
single.
I like inspiration stories like this because you say you're from the village, and then to be at a place that you are. Maybe if you can explain the place that you are right now, 100,000 hectare land. You also have other businesses?
Yes, I used to run earth moving equipment, though I just recently lost my contract with forklifts. I had a fleet of forklifts. That's what I used to start. After I left BHO, I used to work for BHO from 2006 up to 2019. But working hand in hand with my colleague, the owner of BHO actually. He got that concession to build Mutanda Kasempa Kauma Road. So I'm also helping him on that. But I'm now concentrating more on the farm after I lost my contract for lifting,
for forklifts,
loading of copper, chemicals and stuff like that. So that business came to closure. So now, the concentrate on the farm, so that at least we contribute towards the food security. I think it's important. Farming
so you're going from so you're going from transportation. You went from hospitality to transportation,
yes,
and now to farming. Back home. Yeah,
back to the roots now.
What are we seeing for you for the next 5 years?
5 years.
Are we seeing a bigger social media person?
Yes, definitely.
Are you buying cameras? Are you doing this? Are you starting your own podcast?
What I'll do, what I'm thinking of now doing is, because the number processing, it will require a lot of, marketing. So I think I'll just take advantage of my own page and advertise. I'm actually opening a restaurant just opposite opposite Zema. The Fampange Poka restaurant Jakaweme sana patini Vampoko pa Dollar Hill.
The cowboy.
Yes, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Now it's called it's now called the Artson. I started that, I built that actually up to 98%. When I was just about to open it,
What happened to that? I mean, since you brought it up, I do want to bring it up, but what happened to that? I remember it was basically your dream to have that.
Yes, you see, I started something, so because I was very, very close with those Chinese, Bao and Jack. We were like family friends, okay? So they approached me, what do you think? Because if we're more so, it doesn't attract, entertainment, white people like Bojangles, Kafumo. What do you think is the problem? If you warehouse, we make what's about some warehouse? So then I said, no, let me do something that will be unique. So I made something behind. If you saw that place,
I went inside.
Yes.
I came once, yeah.
So I made a bag. I was using farm material. Everything you saw there came from the farm. So it did very well. I had a lot of high-profile clients coming there. And we have. Why don't you do something big outside? We have
enough space.
So that was like when I went outside. It was 30. Basically like a plot, and if you check that building, it's quite very, very big.
Pretty big, yeah.
It's got the longest back counter of 22 meters. Idia material, idia and rosewood. So agreement para the design, build, finance, and operate for a period of 5 years. No, we are in gentleman's agreement. Elomba baisa baingira mwabaingire molomba manje oli omwaijete chapo kanshi benja bali mo involved mu aba businessmen mu ndola balera ninga ma restaurant nga chapo chida nyista to so kuisa kudabwa fyemfuchi ku amapina ichi chintu chichakuleterera. That was 2018. We had to let it go. So I if you
after all that work.
Yes. 90 minutes.
Wow.
90 minutes. Before my wife even died, baby, so now my idea was, we never brought here. They were just the opposite, the stadium, airport. So I wanted to make something unique. If you put any coffee. If you have not in other towers, baby, kill them out. Now the folk will be wino to what when I want to so anyway, that dream was shattered, but it was never shattered up here. So I'm making another one, Uncle Steve, up to Akoles, and wait for it. If you say any coffee, that's why we definitely
You seem to be going around a lot of places. So the last video I want to play is a video that also cracked me up. It's a video of what you think is happening with the Chinese men when they go into these rural areas. And this one's from Kasempa, right? Let's check out this video.
Madam, power of a woman. Chinese muriamo nganda bakomena efya kufuala bamwabikira Kasempa kuno bankashishe sumulamu bakali chapa chinge chipaso mulamu chapa chinga mulamu chipaso mutuntu wana twakusanga moto mulamu twamufa bwino Ford Ranger mulamu old track yapaki ali mukati mulya mulamu na kile nwomu nkoyo ale punda fe pose beda kalwena mulamu ashinkilo muchoncho lyumu wakalwena imwe ale punda fe mu Chinese mulamu pose beda kalo wala put me down this war too much dash la concrete megesa left me higher too much umomo ali konkere ko mulamu agondo Pass up. Uliangalia wakarwela swahilo mulamu na bwerera. Nafuba koko no mulamu na bwerera. Listen here.
Where everywhere you go, do you see an opportunity to talk about things that happen in these rural areas?
I think it's just me, you know. If chiwasanga, sometimes shishibano kushiba chiwati chikuti chavairo. For me, it's just fun. Olikere olenwo mugoyo wamfumu chonchodi ya pundomo. Aingira mugia 1, mugia 2, kufika mugia 6. Ya na mfu apundo. What? Very interesting. Kufuma pano bakuisha pa museo. Kairulu wasai pa wishirolo. Kuti bako leta mwabana.
Yeah.
So I made sure what number plate paja yashinjika kukitikuya. Wawana tenchi ukanti teo. So nangwadi njebela cho nine wako pero mchaijizi antu aleko kwa mkana what mafodile njaeni. What you talking about?
Kumushikwenge.
Kumushikwenge. Kukasempa kwenge. Kufwenda no.
Mwisho.
So alipunjiro mchoncho li mulia wango Steve. Ebu ati kaliwela abantu badia bakalwena babyesu kulia. You know they are naturally bali abantu bakateshe mwanjini techimbebe bakalwena bakateshe. Na umfwafye kwati bamucheckinga mulia mukati. Na umfwakunda. What this is interesting. A video yango Steve.
Mwisho, keep on doing those videos. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Showing up on this show. It's always nice to have a light moment,
yes.
but it's always nice to learn something about places that we've grown up in.
Yes. Chimbiki ninga foko labela kwa Uncle Steve. Obviously mwali wene ili ade wangitaba yui kunani polisi. You see, CDF. We only have another 5 years. Nimbi ukesa po President Umbi akafumia kwa CDF. So Ndola as a friendly city. Apa abipa ngatola bilepo. Aiko na tule pita mumpero. Kabilina mwomwe wali in charge. Aiko na mule furwa mule somenwa. Kuima luko sosoe jishara imbi nde posta fuchi na ile na ripostile ile ya jishara jile. Jishara jile. Ngawa yapo ukupita fyepa diyefipa denunga. Na maofisa zawa kudenshishipile.
Yeah.
So, can we be talking about these things so that at least ili arefu mapo yumuntu nishikuni omo public places go to Rats. Go and see how trucks are getting stuck. CDF balekitafye ba wamya pofye panini ba fuma pocho CDF apa ya pita CDF pafule pa nko kwa twena fidya abantu badembati no mwisho oziye mchimbuso tulefotule mbo kwa CDF oziye ni you are able to see things, meaningful things what kwenda chachile CDF yapyunga not CDF baba kitafya panini bali mbapo no CDF yo. So apa alubana this is it's not just about Ndola, it's everywhere, the whole Zambia. Can we be talking about these things so that at least tuendera pamo we benefit ili tanga fuma po yumo lidi akafuma po au tukashala tuwapenga.
Artson Kanyende.
You know you want to say something else.
No, I don't.
It's Kanyende.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show. And follow his page. It's called Bambui Show. And you see this face here on the cover. Because there's so many Bambui shows. I guess so many Lambas on social media.
Yes.
But thanks for joining me on Luna today. My name is Steve So Sick. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.